Hey, what's up, guys? We've got the rulers back to 3. Insane. Also, one thing, big shout out to Triff for winning that YCS. That's insane. I've always been a huge fan of him. Huge fan of pendulums as well. Insane feat to do as well. But after the ban list, when I saw the rulers went back to 3, we were all like, okay, we knew that was going to happen. And I was like, okay, we'll see how does this actually matter? I don't know. But I was testing it, and I was kind of surprised the fact that it did. I don't know if that means anything to you guys. And then they announced the new ruler shit, and I was like, oh, got it. Busted. But now we have to wait 5 months for that, or whatever the fuck. This is probably my favorite list of the 3 ofs that the 3 rulers, you know what I mean, that I can show you right now. I have a bunch of honorable mentions and things I want to talk about after the list is over. And without further ado, bro. Go right on into it. It's the rulers, boys. Make sure you get those sleeves. I have 15 of these sleeves. Sheesh. Devontae, it might be the best deck.
It might be.
Just kidding, Razziolas.
The room.
Detonated.
F. Alright. Okay, so, alright. We're going to go right into this now. I'm dumb and didn't order 3 of each QCR roller. I only ordered 2 when I bought them. So I actually was kind of happy that happened because I used my old secrets that I had as the cornerstone of the third ones to see if I could tell if it mattered, and it did quite a few times. So obviously for the rulers, we're playing 3 of each. I'm still not entirely sure. I am. I'm entirely sure that 3 of each is just insane. You know what I mean? So these are the 10 secret ones, and then the 2 QCRs that I already had. We're still only playing 1 of each of the babies. I still think 1 is completely fine. And one thing I do want to talk about real quick is I keep seeing posts on people's channels, comments why aren't you playing Super Rejuve? Super Rejuve is very good if we would draw for turn after we won the die roll. That used to be the free card we used to get. So in the end phase we would draw, 5 or 6 or more. You know what I mean? Now we don't get that. So now you're starting with a 4-card hand with Super Rejuve hoping for a payoff. That's just kind of how it is. But this deck needs all the gas that it can. You don't need to play a card to wait for a card. You know what I mean? That's my personal theory on it. I'll hear about it in the comments or whatever the fuck you guys can tell me I'm dumb or whatever, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. So, and then obviously we are playing the Rose Dragon stuff. 3 red, just 2 rocks. I really want to play 3 of this, but I ended up cutting it for more stable cards for the actual format. You can take this deck to a regional and probably do very decently. Also, I did order 2 more purple ultra rares. They got refunded and lost in the mail, I guess, so that was cool. But you know what I mean. So the 5, and then obviously the 1 Magnamut. This card's insane. I wish I wasn't playing the full Bestial package in here. I definitely will in the future, I think. I'm gonna go back to this card, and then we are going to the Nemesis stuff. The Nemesis stuff is actually just low key, just really insane. Yeah, it's really insane. Even if you can, just both, bro. Because obviously Mag adds this one. A lot of the time, you like to just zombie vamp into this one, or we're not playing anything that searches this. I didn't even play Bonfire. I was playing 3 of these just to draw it, but through testing, I actually cut the 3rd for 1 Shiren. The Shiren was actually just pretty good. It was way better than just playing one of or an extra copy of this. You know what I mean? And this low-key, I believe, just beats Malice on its own when you call Dark, if it goes uninterrupted. This is really good against, Malice and Raziel, however you want to do it. Obviously, we're playing Reproductus and stuff, so... and then, obviously, we're playing the Fiendsmith stuff, and I'll explain why. So, obviously, with the Fiendsmith stuff, the Necro Equip takes away from how neg the baby discards are. Because you make Necro Equip, discard for baby, summon a guy, and you'll draw 1 for Necro Equip, so it replaces itself. It's kind of important. Obviously, Wave King's of water, which I've mentioned multiple times. This is, I think, it's just kind of where you want to be at. And then the other engines that are just way too good. Obviously, 3 Umseti, 1 Happy, and then 1 Tefnuet. This is water.
So much gas.
It was, dude, the gas, dude. And it was so funny because, I wasn't playing this originally, and then a couple times I was like, man, just Sark just makes this deck busted. Like, I just kept discarding rulers, and I was like, oh, I'm not playing this one. I was like, oh, it's a water too. Like, it was just insane. Like, it was just. So, we are actually playing hand traps in here too. We are playing Droll and Malcharmy.
Awesome.
So obviously these are wins for Tempest. So if you open Tempest and a win, you can just roto for any dragon, which is very important, especially going first. And especially when you go first and open a Malcharmy, you just discard this and Tempest, and you're just ready to go. So that's it for the monsters. I'm not playing Ash. I don't really like Ash in a deck like this, even though it is fire. Personally, you guys can change it however you want. Then for the spells, obviously the grass. 1-for-1 called by Basil Rose Shoot. Attract, and then we're playing 3 King Sarks. Shout out my boy Devontae for swapping me the tin ones. I really like the tin art. Same with the Amsetis. Appreciate it, brother. And then we are playing, since we are a big heavy combo deck. I think Talents is like one of the best cards in the format right now. If your deck can utilize this card, you should probably play it.
I think you should always be playing Talents.
That's yeah, 100%. Especially in like gasless, like whether it's thrust or siding it or whatever, it should be somewhere.
Big facts.
And then obviously 3 Eclipse. I'm just a really big fan of this card right now. And then 3 Talents, or not Talents, Jesus, Droplet. This lineup I think is very good. So, I was debating on playing one of the King Sark field spell, the Horse field spell, and it just wasn't good enough because you would just search and then get drolled, and you're like, wow, that's cool. Then for the extra deck, the extra dip. Obviously,
dip.
the wreck. We're not playing Striker Dragon in this list. That was one thing. I was just like, I'm going to cut it and just be like, it didn't really come up because we weren't worried about the dragon count in a list like this. Because one thing I did want to talk about real quick now that I think about it was since we have more of the rulers, like if you open like Redox, Blaster, or Tempest, that's full Fiendsmith combo. Because you just summon one of the rulers by banishing both, and then both will add a baby in the other one, and then the baby will discard the other one, and then you make Moon, and then the other one will still revive also. So it's like you can still do a bunch of shit. Like the more bodies you can make is just really insane. So then we were playing the Reproducus, obviously the Moon, Sequence, SP, Access Code. Then we were playing Wave King. The Volaferngis, this is the Trident that gives the attack boost, 2 level 7s. If it has a dragon under, it's a quick effect. And then obviously the Zombie Vampire, this card's the best card in the extra deck, I think. And then the Synchros, Changing. Changing is just way too good to ignore. Obviously the Janix guy, I don't even have to say anything about this card. This card's way too good. And then obviously the Dispatter, and then the last 2 were just the Necro Quip, and the Desiree. So. This is insane. And then a couple things I want to talk about. This was one of the cards. The the Blaze, the Supreme Ruler. I bought a QCR one of these like months ago for like $16, and they're like 80 now or something. I'm not even sure if I want to sell it, even though I probably should. But a couple things I want to mention. I wrote them down for you guys so I wouldn't forget. I didn't want to pull all the cards out. If you guys want a Bestial list, I can give you that. I was going to play Corridor with the flag and make Colossus, but I felt like that was just a worse payoff for like what I was actually trying to do.
Plus, you're already playing Drolls. So,
right,
yeah.
So it's like, like you don't need to do any of that shit. One of the things, too, with the Nemesis end, you can play the Keystone, the Earth one, but also you can play Dotscaper. Shout out. That card's very good. I didn't have room in here for it. You could fit it in. And then we could go back to one of my old lists and play the Safer in the Noctivision list, where you would Safer, send a ruler, add Noctivision, make Striker, especially the Noctivision, and then you have like the whole Fiendsmith combo, draw one, and then like the rulers live. The Lina and the Selene never came up. I did test them. Also, same with the Nightmare Griffin. Chaos Angel also would go in if you played the Safer build with the Bestials and Noctivision. Zeus is another card since we're playing Talents to take the Detonator. Kashtira, I love that engine, but I know that people don't like it, so I don't play with it on YouTube. And then Varudris was another card. I really like that card, but I think that card just gets absolutely iced, right? Is Ice the one that sends from the extra deck to make that?
That's EXT.
EXT, I'm sorry. If you make Varudris and they open EXT, they just send the aggregator and summon it, and then chain block the Varudris and negate it. And then you're like, wow, that was sick. I'll pop that. And then they're like, oh, I'm already +6. You know what I mean? Like, you wasted so much. It's bullshit. Varudris is not good anymore. I did mention, good in U-Bell it is. Rejuve, like I mentioned, Super Rejuve, that card is not good anymore unless we drew an extra card for turn. Same, I didn't play Gold Sark. That card is just droll bait. You would just Sark a roller, add a baby, and then get drolled, and you're like, wow, that was sick. Chaos Space, if you played the other stuff, the Regained as well. I did mention the Horus Field spell. And then you play the Fiendsmith in Paradise for like the follow-up crackback when you would, do the thing where you summon back the Lacrima Suffles back into the deck to make the wreck, and then dump. You know what I mean? And then
dump the continuous.
Yeah, exactly. And then Skill Drain. So Skill Drain's one of. I did buy a QCR. It's still in the mail. Who knows if it'll show up. I also bought a QCR Change of Heart, which I think is a very high-end card in this format. But
awesome.
Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you guys want a full dragon list with like all the Bestials and shit, I can do it. You just let me know. See you guys later. Cheers.